cops pull up. 1 cop car, 2 cop cars, 3 cop cars pull up on my block. What's good, CT Mob? It's your girl, Curly T, 2 E's. And I'm not putting my hands in the camera because, y'all, all this coronavirus stuff got my nail salon closed. I don't know when the next time I'll get my nails done, so please pray for me. And I'll continue to pray for y'all. Hope y'all being safe out there. I hope y'all families is okay. And I'm back like I never left. I know I was gone for a couple months, but I'm here now. And that's all that matters. And today we're going to be doing a story time about the time that my ex called the popos on me. No, for real, y'all. Like, I had my own crib at the time. This is back when I first started YouTube. Actually, this was a year ago. When I first started YouTube, that house that I was in, yeah, that's where I was living at the time. So, without all the chitter chatter, make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Then, baby, what are you doing? Anyway, let's get right into it. Grab your popcorn, your chips, your celery sticks, your soda, your water, whatever you need, because when I tell y'all this story is juicy, baby, this story is juicy. So, first things first, little disclaimer. Me and, we're going to call him, Bob. Me and Bob are no longer together, but I never was in, like, a toxic relationship or whatever prior to being with Bob. So, even though this happened a year ago, me and Bob did, like, stay together after it happened, but we're not together. So, we're talking about a good year ago, probably, I want to say, like, May of 2019. Me and my ex-boyfriend at the time, I had just got off for work, and we was beefing, like, all day. I think we was beefing while I was at work or whatever. So, he calls my phone while I'm on my way home, yada, yada, yada. Somebody say to somebody, like, oh, it's over, done up, whatever, whatever. So, I'm like, all right. Now, keep in mind, at my house, he had, like, a duffel bag of stuff there. So, I told him, I said, come to my house, come get your stuff. I'm done with you. It's over, whatever, whatever. Boom, click, hung up the phone. So he calls me back. He's blowing my phone up. He calls me back. I'm like, matter of fact, you don't even have to come get your stuff from my crib. It'll be sitting right on the sidewalk, right outside my house. You don't need to come in here. We good. Like, that's it. That's all. Hung up the phone. Click. So he blowing my phone up. I'm on my way home from work. I only live like 3 minutes away from my job at the time. So I'm almost there. I'm walking into the house and my mom calls me. So I'm like, hello? Now, mind you, even if I'm going through something in a relationship, whatever, when my mom called me, I dropped the attitude, act like nothing's wrong. So I'm like, hello? She's like, so what's going on with you and Bob? And I'm like, what you talking about? And she's like, he just called me and said that you put his stuff on the sidewalk. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, yeah, I said that, but I didn't really put his stuff on the sidewalk, Mom. Like, she like, that's not nice. Don't do that. You know, blah, 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 blah. Like, call him and tell him you didn't put his stuff on the sidewalk. So I'm like, okay. So I called him. I'm like, why? Like, why would you call my mom? Like, you're weird. Like, I'm an adult. What are you calling my mom for? Like, nobody put your stuff on the sidewalk. Boom, hung up the phone. So he's calling me, blowing my phone up. Remind you, he's on his way to my house right now. So he's blowing my phone up. I'm not answering the phone. So I took all his stuff, which wasn't a whole lot of stuff, but I took all his stuff from upstairs in my bedroom, took it downstairs to the living room, and I put it on the couch, went upstairs. So I hear knocking on my door like it's the police, like, do. Open the door. Mind you, it's broad daylight. It's a beautiful day outside. My whole block is lit. Like, everybody got their kids, their family, they barbecuing, everything. So I think it was like a Sunday, maybe like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But he's banging on my door. So I go downstairs, I open the door. I'm like, man, your stuff is right there. So he grabbed his stuff, and he talking about, where's my shoes, this, that, and the third. I'm like, I don't know, man. I put all your stuff in the bag. So he just looking for a reason to go upstairs and spend more time in my house. So I'm standing at my door open, waiting for him to grab his stuff and go. So he go upstairs and get to searching for this, to searching for that. Didn't find nothing because, like I said, everything was right in that bag. So he go back downstairs, grab his bag, and walk out the door. I shut the door, lock the door. I'm thinking everything peaches. I'm about to go on about my business. So I go upstairs, and by my door and upstairs on the same, like, side of the house, there's windows where you could see in front of my house. So I look out the window from upstairs, and this dude is standing right outside my crib, like literally like right across the street from my crib. And I'm just highly confused as to why homeboy's not on his way home. So I go back downstairs and I'm like, why are you still here? I open the door. I'm like, can I help you with something? I'm like, go home. So he's like, man, I'm waiting for somebody to come get me. My brother about to come get me. I'm not walking home with a duffel bag. Remind you, he done walked home with a duffel bag. He done walked home with a book bag, a PlayStation, Tim's, the whole 59. Like, he done walked home with all of Walmart. But today, for some reason, he just didn't want to walk home with a duffel bag. Okay? So I'm like, look, I don't care who coming to get you. Tell him to come get you from the corner. You're not finna stand in front of my house. Like, that's weird. At this point, he'd be standing in front of my crib for like 20, 30 minutes. I done pulled my phone out. I'm recording. Because every time I leave the house and go back in the house, this man is still there. And I just want him to go home. So I lied. I kept telling him, like, yo, if you don't leave, I'm going to call my brother. And I'm going to tell my brother to come make you leave. And he like, call your brother, call your brother. Now, remind you, I'm the type of person, like, if I call my brother on go. So I really don't like to call him unless it's necessary to call him. So I said that I was going to, but I didn't. I kept act like I was on the phone. I was on the phone. So I'm like, yo, get him. He on my crib. He won't leave. Da, 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 da. So I faked like he said he was on his way, which he wasn't. And I was like, oh, you on your way? Bet I'm about to come to the corner of the main street. Like, there's a main street, and then there's like two side streets to get to my house. And my brother had never been in my house at the time. So I was like, yeah, you know, I'm about to come to the main street. I'm about to show you. Da, da, da. Come on. So I hung up the phone, and I'm like, yo, my brother's on his way. You need to go. Like, you need to leave. You need to get out of here. Now, at this point, he like, man, he cussing me out. Man, I'm not going no effing where. Get your brother. Get who you gotta get. I don't care. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying right here until somebody come get me. Da, 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 da. And he's being so loud that my neighbor comes out the house. So I'm just like looking at my neighbor, and I'm just like, okay, I'm finna go back in the house because now you causing a scene. So I go back in the house. I hear knocking on my door. Doop, doop, doop. Doop, 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 doop. Knocking on my door. So I'm just like, what do you want? Mind you, I'm talking through the door because you don't need to be in here. He like, and give me back that ring I bought you. And give me back that bracelet I bought you. And da-da-da-da-da. He going off, right? So I open the door and I'm like, look, you're not getting this. Because I figured like, like I said, prior to this, I had never been in a toxic relationship. So I didn't realize that, you know, arguing constantly all the time and getting back together, that's where the toxicity comes into. But I did know that even though we was in this little argument, we was probably going to get back together. Like, we would argue all the time. No lie, y'all, the very first day we started talking, arguments. And every day from that day until the day we broke up, we would argue back and forth. We probably had like a good month and a half where we didn't argue. Moral of the story is, I knew we was gonna get back together. You feel me? I'm not finna give you something that you bought me and let you take it back all Indian giving simply because you have an attitude. So I was like, no, man, I'm not giving you this bracelet back. I'm not giving you this ring back. Like, you're tripping. You need to go home, calm down, whatever, boom, boom, boom. He like, I ain't leaving till I get that bracelet and that ring. I ain't playing with you. Give it back to me. I'm like, no, bro. Like, you're doing too much. Like, no, I'm not finna give you back nothing. So he like, all right, if you don't give me back my ring and you don't give me back my bracelet, I'm calling the police and I'm telling them you stole my property that I paid for. Now, remind you, y'all, he's not the brightest star in the sky. You feel me? Like, he ain't the smartest cookie. So I'm like, they not finna do nothing about that. Like, you sound dumb. Like, you're not finna call no cops in my house. Like, you know how black people are. We be capping all the time. I'm finna call the cops. We don't really like to do all that. My man pulled his phone out. Like, he really pulled his phone out. Got the dialing 911. So I'm like, he's capping. Like, he just trying to do what I just did. Like, he ain't really finna call 911. No cap. Y'all heard on the other end of the phone, 911, what's your emergency? I'm like, this man really called the cops. So I took that ring off, took that bracelet off. I'm like, huh, man, you can have this. He like, yeah, I was going to let y'all know somebody stole my property, but I got it back. Thank you. Whatever, everything's fine. They're like, you sure? Do you need somebody to come out there? I can hear it. Like, his phone's mad loud, and he's standing right next to me, right in my little foyer, like, little way right into my crib. Like, I'm like, now I'm causing this scene. You feel me? Now I feel some type of way because you really took the time out your day to call the police. Like, you're bugging. So I'm like, yo, get the F out my crib. Like, get the F out of here. You got to go. You got to leave. Like, you got to dip. Like, it's time to go. He He don't want to leave. He like, nah, I'm not going nowhere. Da, 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 da. I said, I took the ring and the bracelet, said, boop, threw it right in the street, because from my front door, like, you can reach the street. So I threw it out there. Next thing you know, a big old 4x4 come by, doop, doop, run right over my ring and my bracelet. I ain't care. Like, you wanted it back, baby. It's yours. There, go get it. So he like, thank you, da, da, da. Now, remind y'all, at this time, I had bought him a necklace with a cross on it with a piece. It wasn't expensive. It was like $100, $160, something like that. $150, $160. So I'm like, oh, well, since we doing givesies backsies, homie, let me get that necklace back. So he like, man, I threw that necklace in the river, da 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 da. That necklace swimming, da 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 da. So I'm like, all right, well, give me the money back for it then. So he like, man, well, how much was that necklace? That necklace is probably fake anyway. It was probably cheap. How much was it? How much was it? I was like, $160. He like, all right, pulls out about $120, $140 out of his wallet and walks up them little two, 3 steps in front of my crib and goes, here, bitch, not hit me right in the face with the money. Now, I'm standing in my doorway. We're so loud going back and forth the entire block. When I tell you the whole block, all the way down from this end to that end, everybody's outside, everybody's watching, everybody's listening. Now, my neighbors really bang with me. Like, they real cool. They love me like I'm family. You know what I'm saying? So, whole time, they was just outside trying to make sure everything was okay. As far as a couple of my neighbors go, everybody else was just being nosy. So, the ones that were trying to make sure I was okay, I'm looking at them. They looking at me like, you good? Like, are you okay? And I'm just looking like, this is so embarrassing. And I'm just like, this has got to be over. So, I'm like, all right. I'm standing inside my doorway. He throws the money at me. The money falls on my floor inside my house. So I'm like, I got my money. He got his ring and his bracelet. Everything's cool, whatever. Close the door. Pick up the money. I ain't count it. Just picked up the money, put it in my pocket, go upstairs. Once again, I hear banging on my door. Doop, 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 doop. I'm like, go away. Go back upstairs. Doop, doop, doop. He's banging for like a good 5 minutes. I look up from upstairs out the window. My whole neighborhood is still outside just watching this man make a fool of himself. So I'm just like, what do you want? He like, and give me my money back. I'm not leaving till you give me my money back. I'm like, you talking about the money you just threw at me? He like, yeah, give me that back. That necklace wasn't $160. Give it back to me. I'm like, yo, you so broke. Like, who does that? Who throws money at somebody and then asks for it back? Like, get your life, baby. Get your life. So, I'm like, I'm not giving you this money back. You tripping. Like, go get my necklace out the river and then I'll give you your money back. So, he all like, man, if you don't give me my money back, I'm calling the cops on you again. I'm like, you're not finna call the cops on me for not giving you money that you just threw at me in the whole neighborhood, so you throw at me. He like, I'm not playing. Get my money back. That's no. I said, all right, at this point, I'm really finna call my brother. Like, I'm legit calling my brother. So I pulled my phone out, called my brother. I'm like, yo, this dude, Bob, is in front of my house. And he knew who Bob was. I'm like, he's in front of my house. He won't leave. He's acting crazy, causing a scene. Got all my neighbors outside looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm not that neighbor. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not that neighbor. I'm real quiet in the house, chilling, minding my little business. I might blast some music here and there, but I don't do all of that. We don't do that. So my brother's like, what, you serious? Like, you for real? Like, he won't leave? I'm like, no, he's been here for like 2 hours. He will not leave. At this point, the sun's going down. Like, he's tripping. He's been here since like 3 o'clock. It's like freaking, I don't know what time at this point. So my brother's like, all right, you want me to come? I'll come. I'm like, yeah, bro, pull up. He's like, all right, bet, say no more. I'm on my way. I just got to work. I'm going to call somebody and then I'm going to be there. I said, say no more. So I'm like, yo, my brother's really on his way. You're tripping. You need to leave. You're not welcome here. He busts in. I opened the door to say that to him. He busts in my crib. Give me my money back. I'm not playing with you. I'm all types of B's, S's, H's. I'm everything. Like, he's calling me every name under the sun. Like, he's really tripping on me, causing a whole scene for no reason at all. So I'm like, I'm not giving you this money. He like, all right, I'm calling the cops. Pulls his phone out, dial 911 again. I'm like, yo, you're tripping. Like, you're tripping right now. Gather his little money, gave him his money. He's still on the phone with 911 like, yeah, somebody stole money from me. I'm at such and such. He says my whole address. I'm at such and such place. You won't give my money back. Remind you, I live directly across the street from the police station. I'm like, they finna be here in 5 seconds. And they're gonna make you leave. Like, they're gonna make you leave because you're trespassing. And you're not welcome here. So he's like, man, I'm not leaving in until they make me leave. He's on the phone with them telling them I took his money. I won't give him his money back, this, that, and the third. I give him back what he gave me. He claimed to have gave me 160. He counts the money. There's only 120 there. He's like, this ain't all the money. Where's my $40? You got my $40. Da, 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 da. I'm like, man, that's what you gave me. I'm not holding none of your money. That's what you gave me. That's it. That's all. So I look down to the right outside my front door, and on the ground, it was like a crumpled up 20. So I'm like, there goes one of your 20s right there. Leave me alone. Shut the door. He's banging on my door. Do. I'm like, what do you want? Go away. Like, where's my brother? Where's the cops? Where's whoever we done called that's going to make you go home? Like, where they at this point? So he like, you still got my $20. You still got my $20. Stop playing with me. Y'all, I kid you not. I did not have none of this man's money. Like, he didn't give me as much as he thought he gave me. And that I gave him exactly what he gave to me. I was not holding none of his money. I think at this point, he realized that he messed up so bad that there was no coming back from it. So that's what he thought in his head. And he just kept digging himself in a further hole. He wanted a reason to stay there. He wanted a reason to talk to me. He wanted a reason to be in my presence. And he did all of this over, I can't even tell y'all what the argument started about. Like, that's how much we argued. We argued over the littlest, tiniest things, and he blew it way out of proportion. So he's standing in my doorway, because at this point, now he's not even leaving my house. Like, he's not in the street anymore. He's standing in my doorway. He won't leave. I call my brother. I'm like, where you at? He's like, I'm on my way. I'm like, okay, can you hurry up? He's like, yeah, I'll be there. The cops pull up. 1 cop car, 2 cop cars, 3 cop cars pull up on my block. All my neighbors are still outside watching Jerry Springer. And I'm just like, bro, I cannot believe you actually called the cops on me because I won't give you money that you didn't give to me. So they pull up. First thing they said is, whose house is this? I said, mine. My name is on the lease. He does not live here, and he needs to go home. I don't want him here. They're like, okay, let me just talk to him for a second. Next thing you know, his brother and like some girls or whatever pull up. So at this point, I'm heated, like I'm frustrated, like I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, I don't know what your brother came here for and who he came here with, but that's not what we about to do. Like, whoever he's here with, tell him to get out the car. His brother gets out the car and he's like, no, Tati, chill. We're not trying to do all that. Relax. Like, come on, bro, let's just go. He's like, I ain't going nowhere till she give me my money. So the cops pull him and his brother to the side. 2 cops pull him and his brother to the side. And then another cop comes into my foyer area. And he starts asking me questions. He's like, what's going on? I said, I'm going to be honest with you, officer. This is really not that deep. It's not that serious. I just want him to go home. We argue all the time. Like, it's really just like a lover's quarrel, whatever. He needs to leave. I don't have his money. He threw his money right here. You can look around if you want to. Now, keep in mind, I'm not going to say what it was about or why, but at the time I had a case. Like, I had an open case at the time, and he didn't care. He knew that I had a case open, and he called the cops on me anyway. Fast forward back to the story. So I'm like, yeah, officer, I just want him to go home. So he looked around, he flashed his little flashlight, like 2 little feet. I'm like, do you want to look around the crib? Because if you want to look around the crib, you can look around the crib. I don't have his money. He's like, no, you and him said that he threw it here. It's not here. At this point, what would you like for me to do? I said, I'm not trying personal charges or anything like that. I just want the kid to go home. I just want him to go home. I don't want him here. He's trespassing. So he said, all right, no problem. I'm so sorry about all this. I'm like, thanks, cool, whatever. So I step outside with the officer, and he's still screaming at the top of his lungs, like, B, give me my money, this, that, and the third. Like, I ain't going nowhere. He did not want to leave. He was standing outside for hours and hours and hours, causing a scene over nothing. So the cop that's talking to me goes over and talks to the other 2 cops. And at this point, they're like, all right, buddy, well, you got to go. She lives here. You don't live here. You need to leave. She doesn't have your money. It's time to go home. He's like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm trying to tell y'all she got my $20. Da-da-da-da-da-da. They're like, if you want, you can go to the station and file a complaint. But other than that, at this point in time, you need to go home. You're trespassing. And he's like, I ain't going nowhere. Da-da-da. He's arguing back and forth with the police officers. This person, his brother's telling him to leave. I'm telling him to leave. He doesn't want to leave. So the police officer threatened to arrest him. He said, if you don't leave, if you don't go home, we're going to arrest you. He's like, why? I'm not at her house. And then he says the name of the apartments, townhouses, whatever you want to call it, that I lived in. He's like, I'm here at such and such place. I'm not in her house. And they're like, well, you're on the property. You need to leave such and such apartment. You can't be here. You need to go home. So he's like, man, y'all gonna have to arrest me because I ain't going nowhere. At that point, his brother, like, gripped him up and took him to the side and was like, bro, you need to leave. Like, this is not funny. This is getting out of hand. Like, you're tripping. It's not that serious. Him and the police officers talk him into leaving. He finally leaves, goes home, and probably, like, maybe, like, 2 days later, we ended up getting back together. Now, like I said to y'all in the beginning of the story, I had never been in a toxic relationship before. Prior to him, the dude that I was with before, Bob, we probably argued, like, we were together for 3 years. I think we argued probably like 2 or 3 times in the entire 3 years. So I didn't know what the signs of a toxic person or a toxic relationship were. If you're arguing with your significant other every single day, if things are getting out of hand, things are getting violent, someone is verbally abusive to you, physically abusive to you, which he wasn't because he knew what it was. But if someone is physically abusive to you, verbally abusive to you, cut that out. Like, leave that relationship. That's not somewhere you need to be. Like, love will really make you do crazy things. If you love somebody, you'll stick with them through so many things that you probably never thought you would be with somebody through. And I ended up getting out of there probably maybe like 6 months after that. I was just sick of it. I was fed up. And I didn't deserve to be treated the way that he treated me. He was constantly talking to other girls. He screamed at me every day. He didn't know how to communicate. He didn't know, even if we did get into an argument, it always had to be up here. He always had to be in my face. And I wasn't with it. So I did end up leaving that relationship. So we're done. But yeah, that was the story time about the time my ex really called the cops to my crib. Like, that's not cute, baby. If somebody calling the cops on you, doing all that, just leave. Leave. There's so many fish in the sea. You could do so much better. Somebody that's going to treat you right and show you how you're supposed to be loved. You feel me? Like, that ain't love. It might seem like love at the time, but baby, it's not. It's really not. And y'all know how we do with our positive affirmations. My positive affirmation for today is love yourself. I got a tat. I don't know if y'all ever saw my tat. I got a tat that says love yourself. That's a very, very, very powerful message because so many people look for love in the person that they're with. They look for love in the dad that was never there. They look for love in the mom that was on drugs or love in all these different people. Luckily, my parents were very involved, but still at points you look for love in other people. You need love from yourself. You need to love yourself more than anybody else love you. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not until you truly love yourself that you can love anybody else anyway. So that's my positive affirmation for today. If you don't feel like you love yourself, pray on it. Pray on it. Ask God to show you how you can be there for yourself so that you don't need anybody else. You don't need a man. You don't need a girl, a woman, whoever. All you need is you and God at the end of the day. So that wraps up today's video. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button. Leave a comment down below about some other story times you guys might want to know about, because I got all the tea. All the tea, all the juice. Baby, it's here. You feel me? So thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.